Welcome back to the Leader Podcast. Ooh, we did good.
Who's drinking something?
Yeah, not me, because I didn't even take a drink that time.
All right. Man, it is almost summer camp.
It is.
This
week.
Happy Memorial Day, everyone.
Yes. Are we dropping this on Memorial Day? How are you doing that? Is it automatic?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Well, you
think.
schedule it.
Yeah, perfect.
It'll be there. No one will listen
Great.
to it on Memorial Day. They'll listen to it on Tuesday. It's fine.
Or they'll all listen to it on Memorial Day, because what else are you doing? You're off.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. Everybody's name in the picker is going to summer camp with us. Thank you so much for making that sacrifice.
Leader Shoutout Roulette.
Yep.
Summer Camp Survival Kit.
Yep.
And the winner is none other than the
Tim Smith.
Timothy Smithian.
How would we ever
The shiniest head I know.
I don't know about that.
No. Listen, there's a lot of bald guys here. Tim's is the shiniest.
Tim's is the best.
I asked
Tim's
him,
the
I was
best
like,
bald.
how do you do that?
Does he have a little?
No,
little
he has.
chamois?
He says he puts lotion on it.
Really?
Which, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? You don't. Never mind.
Yeah.
Tim, you're a rock star, bro. Seriously,
Especially at camp. You're a rock star all the time.
You are, but
camp,
you're like the donkey climbing up the
where are you going
in a good way, climbing up the Grand Canyon. Like you just loaded down and you just taking the steps and getting the reps and getting it done.
Well, it's crazy
That
too.
is
At
Tim
camp,
Smith.
people are like, "We're out of water," and Tim's like, "Be there in a second."
I'll conjure it. Like
Yeah.
Tim will just make it appear out of thin air.
And shout out to that job of yours at camp, because that's what helped you unmute the group chat.
I'm gonna laugh if he has muted it back and we didn't know.
No, I'm pretty sure every time we make the joke, he's like, "No,
I'm
I don't."
still here.
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, so
love you, Tim. Thanks for
shout
all
out
you do,
to
bro.
Tim.
You're a hero.
Now listen, we might have to bring his survival kit item with us to camp
to make sure he gets it.
Yeah, because like
we won't have a Sunday or a Wednesday.
Yeah, we
before
won't have a
go.
Sunday or Wednesday.
All right, we're gonna bring yours with us, Tim.
Or we'll drop it earlier. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
Or we'll just give you a Walmart gift card and say, "Hey, go get whatever you want while you're at summer camp."
Here's the credit card for all your Walmart runs, and here's your own.
Yeah, exactly. Here's your special one.
Here's a special Tim Walmart gift. That's a good one. That's a real good one.
We might do that. We might
might get in trouble with the IRS.
Hey, yeah,
also.
I don't know. I got to get it approved.
Speaking of, let's talk about difficult conversations.
Oh my gosh, the IRS. Somebody
So the
kill me.
final week in relational youth ministry, which
Yeah.
we're about to enter into a week of it at summer camp.
Yeah.
Which are we going to podcast drop next Monday? That's the editor's note. We'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
But we can batch record.
We could do a live. I mean, it wouldn't be live, but we could record it like it's live at camp. Do a podcast from camp and drop it that Wednesday.
Yeah, that's so easy to do.
It is for me?
Yeah, you're right. It is for you. Sit down.
What else
here's
is
your
he going to
microphone.
do? He's literally sleeping on the couch over there.
Yeah, I know. Who are you talking about even? Anyway, difficult conversations.
Yeah.
Why, Darren, is this so important for relational youth ministry?
You can't have youth ministry without difficult conversations.
Interesting.
These kids don't have a prefrontal cortex yet. They are not thinking.
I think they do. It's just not fully developed.
They're just they cannot make logical, thought through, long range kinds of decisions. They're not built that way yet. And because they're not, they're going to make decisions that are dumb. Not because they're dumb, just because their brain can't get there yet.
Yeah.
And it is inevitably gonna trigger a hard conversation. And if you're not willing to have hard conversations,
Get out of this job.
that thing that they need to work in their brain doesn't work if it's not trained to work.
Yeah.
And difficult conversations are what trains their brain to work that way.
I would also say, in addition to that, you know as well as I do that, like, just because they're teenagers doesn't mean, or not only teenagers need to have difficult conversations.
Oh, no doubt about
Right?
it. Yeah, no
So,
doubt about it.
For any relationship to
I mean,
work.
have you read scripture? How many difficult conversations did Jesus have?
Yeah.
Take all you have, sell it, and join the team.
Yeah,
And
you're
he
casting pearls before swine.
Yeah. What did he call you? Whitewashed
Whitewashed
tombs. You
tombs.
whitewashed
Yeah,
tombs.
like, for any relationship to work, even adult relationships, marriage, work, coworkers, like, you have to be willing to have difficult conversations. Haircuts that don't go your way, you have to be willing to have difficult conversations.
Yeah.
And so in the same way, now, how do you, if you're a volunteer with a kid that's not your own,
Yeah.
have said difficult conversation in a volunteer capacity. 'Cause
Yeah.
I would imagine that's a little like you're like, I can have a difficult conversation with my kids, my spouse, my boss. How does one
I think it's a great question. I think you got to look at it in levels, right? Like the first thing is if this is an atomic bomb kind of conversation, like things are going crazy, you have to include parents in that conversation, or
Yeah.
at least throw a high sign that you're going to have that talk, right? But generally speaking, like I had a kid recently I had to have a pretty tough conversation with. And this is a kid that I've talked to several times about some issues that
is this story time?
No, it's not story time. But it's a kid that I've had multiple conversations with kind of about this thing. This thing does not seem to be getting any better. So I started slow. I got a little heavier with it. I finally had to I'm going to have to give consequence.
Drop the hammer a little
Right.
bit. Yeah.
And so then I called mom and I was like, hey, I just want to let you know, this is the conversation I'm planning to have with your kid. Here's why we're planning to have that conversation. Is there anything that any feedback you want to give me before we do it? Like, you don't just go in bull in a china closet, even though I know I kind of have that reputation a little bit. You don't go in bull like in a china closet with a hard conversation.
Yeah.
You start slow and work your way up unless it is an atomic bomb kind of moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you have advised a volunteer to have that conversation?
No, I probably would have said, and we do say this in our handbook, like if you're getting to a point where you're struggling with the kid, whether it's behavior or an issue they've brought to your attention that you don't know how to handle, whatever, that's why we are here. We want to know those conversations are happening, even if you don't like throw us a high sign ahead of time. Like if you have a tough conversation with a kid, clue us in.
Yeah.
Because we can come around and shore that up for you.
Yep.
We can give you tips that you might not have thought about. Also, if a tough conversation ever goes wrong, and sometimes they do, we kind of want to have a heads up so that if we get a call from a mom or dad, we know what's happened there. A little bit, like I hate quoting this line, but it takes a village. Like when you're having tough conversations, it shouldn't just be your conversation. You should include other people in it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And like there's a book that you and I reference a lot that we read in a former life of ours. But it's like you don't give hard feedback to people you don't believe in.
Yeah.
And so one of the ways, whether you say it or not in the conversation, but like one of the ways that you basically prove that you are into this like relational youth ministry thing is when you need to have a corrective or tough conversation, you're willing to have it. And you shy away from it when you don't believe in the person.
Yeah, agreed. Or, also a little bit maybe when you don't believe in yourself. You don't feel like you know what to say. You're not sure it's going to go right. Guess what? You don't know what to say, and it might not go right.
Yeah.
It doesn't absolve us of our responsibility to lean all the way in when we are leading and loving students.
Yeah.
And so that is going to include hard conversations if you're doing it right.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean hard conversations alone. You're not alone when a tough conversation comes.
For sure.
You're surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses.
There you go.
And we're happy to help.
All the dead people.
And some of the live people who feel dead.
All right. Story time?
Story time.
All right.
The biggest waste of money in our youth ministry that we've ever done is
If you're
right
watching,
here. Yes.
you would be seeing Darren hold up this bracelet.
Which I love, and they're so cool. And I truly did not buy them because they were cool. I bought them because we knew we were heading into the podcast, and these bracelets would help you guys give us stories so that we're not sitting in conversations and planning sessions going, now what's another story? Now what's another story? Because instead of only 2 brains coming up with stories, we'd have 70 brains coming up with stories.
Maybe these are the biggest waste of money
I
because
know.
we can't get. I've never actually tried
They
this.
don't work. Like they're great, but they only work like once every 18 times. Also, like if you're a business person, like we can get away with wearing this bracelet to work.
Yeah.
Because we wear shorts and t-shirts to work. But if you're wearing a business suit to work, this probably isn't the thing you want to have on your arm. I don't know. So we love you guys. These stories, when you have them, really help us. Please make sure you push them our direction, whether you use the bracelet or not.
What if we start putting a link in the description of these where it says submit a story?
Oh, that's a great idea.
Then that way,
yeah, you don't have to have a
you
bracelet
don't have
that
to have
doesn't
a bracelet
work.
to tell us a story. But
Yeah.
we just got done with our Monday morning staff meeting, And the last 10 minutes of it was like, we need podcast
We
stories.
need podcast stories. We're filming in 8 minutes.
Yeah, so we would love your help. We would love to feature your story. So whether this stupid thing is a part of the strategy or not, help us, and we'll start making that possible by we'll create a form or something that
We have a form. That's where that goes.
Yeah.
We'll just put the link to the form, and that's great.
Boom.
You're brilliant. Crash land it.
All right, editor, take that note and make it happen. Love you guys.
Love
Bye.
y'all. Bye.